From 4 News Now, with live updates throughout the day, breaking news as it happens, and weather every 10 minutes. This is KXLY Plus.
Good afternoon for 4 News Now. I'm Rob King. Tonight, Kirstin O'Connor has a special report airing about Kits for Kids. It is a program in which you help create a kit for your child. Kirstin's going to explain it much better than I just did in just a moment. But before it airs tonight at 6, we have a little teaser for you.
It's one of the most important local programs you've probably never heard of, and it could make all the difference if your child was missing.
I was adamant about getting my kids up here.
What families need to know tonight on 4 News Now at 6.
Kirstin, how are you?
Hello. Good to see you again, Rob. I just saw you on TV yesterday.
I know, it was fun to join you at the desk. I feel so privileged. I was telling you, and I can tell other people watching, I always feel like I'm coming into your house and I'm like a guest. So I have to be
That's
on
right.
my best behavior.
And now I'm a guest in your home.
That's
so
true.
there we go.
Kirstin, why don't you talk a little bit about your special report? What are these kits that you want to educate people about?
Well, I heard about the kids from a volunteer from the group Scope, and there are probably quite a few people in Spokane who've heard of Scope. They work with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. They're a group of about 250 plus volunteers who are led by Chris Conway, a good friend of mine, and they have these OFID kits. Now, I say that, and I'm sure, Rob, you're thinking, okay, I've never heard that acronym. I have no idea what that means. And that's what most parents are saying. And they are a free resource for parents. So the special report is explaining what an OFID kit is and why it is so important that every parent or caregiver of an adult with special needs or a vulnerable adult has one of these at their home.
So what is OFID?
So that's, I guess, the best question is what does that even stand for? So this is an operation safety kit that is for missing or wandering adults or children. So you think about it as a parent, you get that horrible sinking feeling anytime you're at an event or a just busy shopping mall or grocery store and you can't find your child. It's just, everyone knows that feeling. And so the thought that you could potentially be in a situation where you needed to call 911 and report your child missing is something I think a lot of parents don't want to think about and don't necessarily take proactive steps to prevent. I think we all just hope that that never happens to us. But sadly, we report on missing children and Amber Alerts and Silver Alerts, which are for vulnerable adults, all the time on the news. I mean, I can't tell you how often, and Rob, you see them too coming in to our 4 News Now inbox. It's just, it's very unfortunate, and it's just reality. So this program that's developed by Scope is free. It's for parents or for caregivers to go and proactively create a kit that has all the information that police and detectives would need in case you call them in that horrible situation where you are missing someone that you love. And it has all the questions already laid out for you so that you can think about those questions when you're in a normal state of mind. You're not in a state of panic, and you have your child right there with you to look for birthmarks or to look for identifying features or to notice, oh my goodness, my daughter grew 3 inches this year and I didn't even realize how tall she was. And if a detective asked me that question, I wouldn't have an accurate answer for them. So these kits are supposed to be something that you keep at home in a safe, and hopefully you never have to use them. Hopefully we make it and we forget about it. But if you ever need it, it's there. And it's just a feeling of, rest assured that you're doing everything you can as a parent to protect your child.
And in a situation like that, that's so serious, time is really of the essence. So if you have what detectives are going to ask you, you have all that stuff ready to roll. I mean, that could be extremely beneficial and life-saving.
I mean, it's minutes. It is minutes that matter at the beginning of an investigation. We have reported that over and over again, and that'll be part of my special report tonight. But I think that we tend to push things aside that are uncomfortable or that are just bad news. Right? We hear that all the time, Rob. People, just don't want to hear the bad news. Mm-hmm. But if you can do something to help detectives, and if you can do something to help your child and save those valuable minutes and that time that they need to collect that information. I know, we checked online to see the number of missing persons reports and the different pictures that you can look at for people who are missing right now. And in order to get those photos posted, or in order for an Amber Alert to go out, you have to fill something out. That's the goal for any detective. They need to have the right information. They need an updated photo. And so a lot of parents, we have thousands of photos of our kids on our phones and things like that. But do you have the right photo that, shows both of their ears and shows their eye color and the right lighting and gives those identifying features, the birthmarks that will help in case of an emergency?
So is this like a certain day that they're having the public come out and create these kits, or can you go anytime?
They want you to call anytime. These volunteers are so excited about this program, and they want to offer it to all parents. It is a Spokane County program, but any viewer who's listening to this interview, who hears about this and is interested, Chris Conway wants you to give her a call, and she's going to make sure that every parent has access to this program. That's how important it is, and it's free.
Oh, that's good. And it's good to know it's not exclusive to Spokane residents, whether you're in Idaho or West Washington.
It's a missing persons kit, so it's something that you create, you hold on to. I did ask her, what's the number one question that you get from parents, or what's maybe the reason that people would not create one of these or are holding back? And a lot of times it's privacy concerns, right? We all have privacy concerns about our data, about our of course about our children, about who's looking at photos, and all of those things are very important. And that's why Scope creates these kits as, it's a card that you're filling out along with all of the fingerprints and the photos and the information. But you take that kit home. They don't hold on to it. They don't have access to it. It's for you, so that you feel empowered, you feel like you are protecting your child, and you can hold on to it in case of an emergency.
So that's interesting. They're not just uploading this to some database. They're giving you, hey, these are the resources we want to give you, so that way if the worst does happen and we come knocking, you have it ready to roll.
Exactly. You know where it is. You know that you have already put it all together for the detective who's in charge, and it will just speed up that process exponentially.
Got it. Now, Kirstin, your special report's going to air tonight at 4 News Now at 6. The way television works, for people who don't know, sometimes things are cut for time. So was there anything that you, during your investigation, your reporting, that you found super interesting that might not make it into the special report, but you still think people should know?
Well, the one thing that really interested me, and there are quite a few, but one of them is that I wasn't able to bring my daughter to do one of these kits. That was my original idea. Mm-hmm. But children have to be 5 years and older in order to be fingerprinted. Oh. So that was an interesting tidbit. It did help me think through the questions and what types of photos I would need to have on hand. And, I saved a couple of photos while I was talking to some of these volunteers, just kind of in a folder that are recent photos, so that, it's a horrible thought, but in case I needed them, I could just immediately access them. And then the other thing that was quite funny was that one of the volunteers who's been working with Scope for a really long time was sitting there chatting with us, and she said during the event that we were doing all of our video and interviews, I think I need one of these kits. And we said, what do you mean you need one of these kits? And she said, for my husband. Her husband has memory loss issues that are pretty recent, and he has not begun wandering, but she started to listen to our interview and realize this is something I need to do now. This is not something that I should wait for the night that he does go wandering, or a moment when, he isn't around. I need to have this. And so it's for adults too. It's for anybody that you want to protect in your life, someone that you love. I think that those are the two main pieces that I gained when we were just out in the field and working with these volunteers. Is this is an easy thing. It takes 10 minutes. It's something that we can all do, and hopefully help us feel better after we do it.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like even if you're not considered an at-risk adult, I mean, this is something I'd want for my wife in case she was missing, to have the list of things that would be good identifying details.
That's what Leanne said. That's what this volunteer said. She said, I haven't really thought about what his birthmarks are. I mean, he's an older man, and I've never, and that same thing I said to her, I don't know what my husband's birthmarks look like, and these are people we're with all the time.
Sure.
So yeah, it is a good resource for all of us, and just something to think about.
And also, I know we can't fingerprint kids under 5 for, the way their fingers are, but you can still get those photos, get those identifying marks, and even if they're under 5.
Yeah, just having that and collecting it yourself, and knowing that as a parent, you're doing everything that you can to protect them.
Got it. Well, Kirstin, it sounds super interesting. It definitely sounds extremely important, and it's something that people should know about. So I'm glad we're able to get this information out, and thank you for joining me.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it, and we'll see all the viewers again at 6 o'clock.
All right. Thanks, Kirstin.
Bye.
Kirstin's special report airs tonight in 4 News Now at 6. If you missed some of it or you missed some of this interview, both will be up in their entireties on our website, KXLY.com. Be sure to tune in to 4 News Now at 5 and 6 tonight. And thank you for joining me. Like I said, if you missed some of this interview, the full thing will be up in just a couple of minutes. But for now, live in studio, I'm Rob King for 4 News Now.